You feel it building again. That familiar fire in your chest, the way your breath catches when desire floods your system like poison. Your hands shake slightly. Your mind fractures. Your carefully constructed day crumbles at the altar of want. And in that moment, that terrible, intoxicating moment, you are no longer yourself. You are hunger. You are need. You are every weakness you swore you'd conquered, rising like a tide to drown the person you're trying to become. The Romans had a word for this: libido. Not just sexual desire, but the wild, untamed craving that transforms free men into slaves. Marcus Aurelius knew this enemy well. Sitting in his tent on the Germanic frontier, writing by candlelight after another day of war, he understood something that would shake you to your core. At dawn, when you have trouble getting out of bed, tell yourself, I have to go to work as a human being. But what makes us human beings? What separates us from animals driven purely by instinct, by the immediate gratification of every impulse that arises? Control, sovereignty, the sacred ability to choose who we become in each moment of temptation. Lust, raw, unexamined desire, is the thief of that choice. Watch how it moves through you. Notice how your vision narrows until nothing exists but the object of your craving. Your future disappears. Your values evaporate. Your relationships become transactions. Your dreams become background noise to the deafening roar of want. This is not love. This is not even pleasure. This is slavery disguised as freedom. The Stoics understood something our pleasure-obsessed culture has forgotten. There is a difference between what you desire and what you truly need. Between what excites your body and what nourishes your soul. Between the rush of conquest and the quiet strength of genuine connection. Seneca, advisor to emperors, wrote from his own experience. Every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end. But here's what he meant. Every moment you choose lust, something dies inside you. Your capacity for genuine intimacy, your ability to be present, your respect for others as human beings rather than objects of gratification, your respect for yourself as something more than a collection of appetites. You've felt this death, haven't you? The hollow emptiness that follows the temporary high. The shame that creeps in when the dopamine fades. The way you avoid your own eyes in the mirror afterward. That's your soul telling you you've betrayed who you really are. The modern world tells you this is natural. Follow your desires. Express yourself. You deserve pleasure. But Marcus Aurelius, the most powerful man in the ancient world, knew better. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Your desires are outside events. They arise. They peak. They fade. They are weather patterns in the sky of your consciousness, and you, the true you, are the mountain that remains unmoved. But we've been trained to identify with the weather, to think that every storm of lust that passes through our minds is somehow us, that resisting it is repression, that indulging it is authenticity. This is the great lie that destroys millions of lives. Lust is not authentic. It is automated. It is the lowest common denominator of human experience. The place where we become most like animals, least like the divine spark that separates us from beasts. When you're caught in its grip, you are not expressing your true self, you are abandoning it. Think about the men and women you most admire, the ones who built something lasting, who loved deeply, who created beauty, who stood for something beyond their own immediate pleasure. None of them were driven by lust. They were driven by purpose, by vision. By a deep understanding that the highest human joy comes not from taking but from giving, not from consuming but from creating, not from satisfying desire but from transcending it. This is the path of the philosopher, the way of the warrior, the secret the Stoics died to protect. Your lust tells you lies about what you need to be happy. It promises fulfillment and delivers emptiness. It promises connection and creates isolation. It promises freedom and forges chains. But here, right here in this moment, you have a choice. You can continue believing that you are your desires, that you must act on every impulse that arises in your consciousness. Or you can remember who you really are, a sovereign being capable of choosing your response to any stimulus, any temptation, any internal weather pattern that tries to claim your identity. The Stoics called this prohairesis, moral choice. The one thing that is truly yours, the one power no person, no desire, no circumstances can take from you. When lust rises, you feel its power, but you are not powerless. You are the one who chooses whether to feed it or starve it, whether to identify with it or observe it like a scientist studying a fascinating but temporary phenomenon. There it is again, you can say to yourself. That old pattern trying to return. But I am not that pattern. I am the awareness that notices it. And in that recognition, that moment of sacred distance between you and your desire, you taste freedom, real freedom. Not the false freedom of doing whatever you want, but the true freedom of becoming whoever you choose to be. This is why the greatest men in history were not slaves to their appetites. They understood that every victory over immediate gratification was a victory over their lower nature. Every moment of self-mastery was a step toward becoming fully human. Marcus Aurelius knew this as he ruled an empire. Seneca knew this as he advised emperors. Epictetus knew this as he taught from experience of real slavery and real liberation. They knew that lust, unchecked, unexamined desire, is the enemy of everything noble in human nature. It makes you weak when you need to be strong. It makes you selfish when you need to be generous. It makes you blind when you need to see clearly. It makes you a slave when you were born to be free. But you have the power to break these chains, not by suppressing your humanity, but by claiming your full humanity. Not by denying that desire exists, but by choosing which desires deserve your energy, your time, your sacred life force. The path forward is simple, but not easy. When desire arises, pause, breathe. Ask yourself, will feeding this desire make me more or less of who I want to become? Will it strengthen my character or weaken it? Will it deepen my capacity for genuine love or diminish it? And then choose, not from weakness but from strength, not from fear but from wisdom, not from repression but from sovereignty. This is the way of the Stoic. This is the path to freedom. This is how you reclaim your life from the tyranny of unexamined desire. You are more than your appetites. You are more than your impulses. You are more than the temporary storms that pass through the sky of your mind. You are the mountain, unshakable, unmovable, free. Remember this the next time lust comes knocking at the door of your consciousness. You don't have to answer. You don't have to let it in. You can simply observe it from the fortress of your own sovereignty and choose who you become in that sacred moment of moral choice. This is your power. This is your freedom. This is your birthright as a human being. Claim it.